I can't think of a car company that's been on life support more often than Chrysler, but each and every time they've bounced back, and this time is no exception. On this edition of Test Drive, the latest version of the Dodge Charger. I like the original Dodge Charger, and this in spite of its warts. It was the epitome of a good muscle car and defined what the genre was all about. Power to spare in a car that hangs in like a sports car with attitude. The latest edition manages to take that basic credo and build on it to the point where there's very little connection between past and present. The cabin in this Charger takes an enormous step forward. The materials are first class and soft to the touch. The seats very comfortable. The instrumentation is very classy. And this screen that sits in the middle, it is touch sensitive. Many of the cars this car goes up against, they're not. There is, however, one thing I do not care for. This electronic shifter. It seems to have a mind of its own and didn't do what I wanted it to do much of the time. The power for the Charger SXT comes from Chrysler's new Pentastar engine. This 3.6-litre V6 spins out an effortless 292 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. The beauty is that even when forced to run at the top end of the rev range, the engine does not get thrashy or noisy. Now that could not have been said of the previous engine. It also brings the mustard necessary to get the Charger from rest to 100k in about 7 seconds. Now this is the base V6 Charger. If you want to put a little extra urgency underneath the hood, you simply go for the RT. The 370 horsepower V8 drops the acceleration time to 100k to 5.6 seconds. Now if that's not quite enough adrenaline, you simply go for the SRT8. That bad boy puts out 470 horsepower, which cuts the acceleration time by another full second. The power is fired to the rear or all four wheels through an 8-speed manumatic transmission. It works very nicely with the engine to deliver a decent turn of speed and pretty good fuel economy, a test average of 10.6 litres per 100 kilometres. If you're looking at the Charger, the only way to go is with the four-wheel drive model. The system functions flawlessly and makes the Charger far less tail-happy than its rear-drive sibling when the electronic stability control system is turned off. To conserve fuel, the all-wheel drive system automatically disconnects the drive to the front wheels. However, it's smart enough to re-engage everything if the wipers are turned on, which ensures maximum traction in slippery conditions. When you get in and out of the back seat, first of all, you've got to watch your head there. You will find decent legroom, some place to put your feet underneath. The tunnel, it does away with the ability to carry a third person. And if you happen to be tall, make friends with the glass. In terms of its handling, the Charger is surprising to say the very least. Something this large should not dance as well as it does. The suspension dials out basically all unwanted body roll, while the new electro-hydraulic steering delivers the right feel and feedback, all of which means it is much faster when it's pointed into a corner. Throw in the all-wheel drive's larger 235/55 R19 tyres, and the Charger handles itself very nicely when it's pushed towards its considerable limit. In this regard, it is, as I say, a far cry from its muscly ancestors. Nobody is going to mistake this for anything other than a Dodge Charger. However, when compared to the previous car, this one is better in every single area. So much so, for my money, this car still represents the best value in the segment.